Hello, everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the written communication, the next part of professionalism in communication. So what is it all about, written communication? We're going to see the each part of the communication. There is written communication. So what is it? So here we'll be discussing all about what is written communication, what are different forms, and then how to take care of different forms of written communication. How do you maintain professionalism in each of them? What are the do's and don'ts? Everything will be discussed here. So first of all, let us discuss the forms of the types of written communication. As you all know, written communication is that communication which is written, which is in the written type, right? So similarly, we have different types of that. We have the first is the letters, we have memo or we call memorandum, then we have notice, then we have circular, report, minutes, and agenda. Letters are something which is we normally write as letters. Memorandum is something the document which we do for that is where we have the memo or some information being given. Notice is actually we just give the information to the people in public. Circular is some the running information which is going to happen in near future. Report is the overall idea of what were the happenings that had happened. Minutes is when we conduct a conduct a meeting. Before we conducting meeting, what we have to discuss, that is called minutes. And after the meeting, what we do, which is approved by the members in the meeting, which is called quorum. We say quorum is the minimum people attending the meeting, and the people who are attending on the behalf of somebody is called proxy. So in the meeting, if the proxies or any other members are there, they approve that particular meeting's minutes, and that will be called as agenda at the end of the meeting. So finally, they report it in the book, which is known as agenda. So there are some important mistakes actually which are made in written communication. So the previously what we found the types, you please refer the textbook properly for each and every information, which is very important for examination. Confusing language, verbosity, which is called use of too many words. Information overload, meaning to say too many information can also create a problem sometimes where people get confused with overthinking process too. Poor sentence structure. Some of the important advantages of written communication are permanent records, accuracy, easy understanding, long distance communication, authoritative documents, delegation of authority, suitable for long messages. Then it's there are less possibilities for distortion, develops confidence, goodwill, and image building. There are some important limitations also in written communication: time consuming, expensive, no instant feedback, unsuitable for illiterate people, lacks personal touch, less flexible, and no secrecy maintained here. Now let us see something about email. Email is called electronic mail. There are some advantages. Wow, advantages or what is the importance of role of email in business? Fast client communication, availability and portability, reduces the shipping and mailing cost, so it's very economical, cost effective too. Disadvantages, it's vulnerability to loss, because whatever if you send a mail unknowingly to somebody, you cannot like how you delete it in the WhatsApp, like delete for all or delete for me, you say you cannot do that process in email. So you have to be very careful while sending the email messages to the people. So it's vulnerability to loss. Spams and junk mails can also happen. The unwanted mails can come and get overloaded in your inboxes too. Ethical, privacy, and security issues can also happen. Sometimes hacking can also happen. The difficulty to interpret the emotions of the people. What the person is trying to speak cannot be seen, because face-to-face interaction is not there, only the communication is in words. So it is not easily received what the people are really meaning. It cannot be perceived uh, by the people who receive the messages or sending the messages to. Accessible to others, anybody can send, because when you send bulk information to the people, what we have sent to an individual person can be viewed by others, so sometimes it's disadvantageous too. Let us see the importance or significance of email in business. It's easy and fast, easy retrieval, it's economical. Then there is a lot of marketing opportunities in email too. Security issues can also be taken care of through email. Privacy and confidentiality can also be maintained individually when you send the information to a particular client or someone. Then internal communication can happen, work groups can be created, and finally it's merged into names of the physical documents because it's more eco-friendly where no paperwork is happening. Now, when we do this email, we need to know certain do's and don'ts. There are certain decorums or there's certain formalities and discipline to be followed. So in email, we have certain etiquettes. Etiquettes are something which is called the professionalism or the way or the code of conduct that is to be maintained when we send the email. So it must possess a professionalism, efficiency, and protection from liability. Formatting of email, when you see, you have to take care of all these things, identify the relevance of the content or objectives of that, why you want to send the email, know the to line to whom you are going to send, know who to be in CC. If you want to say send the same copy of one, the person you are specifying in two line, that has to be the same message. It has to be sent to many people. Then you send the carbon copy, CC's carbon copy. BCC, that is blind carbon copy. Then we have subject line, then salutations, that is dear, respected, and so on. You need to be very specific about it. Content, message is very important. Tone, whether you send it politeness or not. For example, when we send email, we should not put everything in the small letter or everything in the capital letter because there can be a certain meaning what is being conveyed when you send the email. For example, when you send full capital letters, dear sir, I am bound to listen to you. If I say like that, or how are you, you're sending in full capital letters, which means that you are dominating. You are an arrogant person. You are trying to fight, or you're trying to, you're in an angry mood. So you're trying to, you're trying to fight with other person. Okay, you're trying to order something. Okay, so it should not be like that. You should be more polite. For that, you need to use a blend of capital and small letters. You need to know the grammar also. A language that spell check, no grammatical mistake should also happen. Writing a complaint, when you see no using harsh words or capital letters, attachments should be there then and there. Whenever you speak something, you need to give the attachments to that too. Privacy issues should be maintained. Then we have to check and review before we send the message. Response time and the closing thing has to be overseen. Now, when you see the email, that is, you have to take care of all these important elements. It should be appropriate, proper spelling and grammar should be maintained, clarity should be there, it should be properly planned before you send, before you create a message, professional, proofreading. Proofreading is something you check before you do properly, you scrutinize it, you proofread it before you finalize it. Containing the subject line, what you're going to say, the subject, because people, when they receive the email, they see the subject, and based on the subject, they decide whether to read it or not, or delete it. Respectful and polite. Sometimes you can find the disadvantage of email like this, whatever important information you are ready to get it in inbox, sometimes it is not seen, it goes to spams. Why does this happen? It is actually by default. So this is also one of the disadvantages of email. Now you can see here, there are 5 important rules for email etiquettes. Like take a closer look before you send to and subject. Then when one person sends it and the other person says, I got it, let people know their email has been received. So whenever someone sends a message, you should know, if somebody is sending a message to you through email, you have to specify whether you have received it or not. You have to give if they have given some information, you have to give a reply and complete that conversation. And you have to, whenever you use, like you can see there down, where you can compress your attachments. Whenever you have the attachments, you can compress it by not giving so much of explanation. You can give the attachments so that the people will get the physical copy, or the copy for which is actually magnifying what you are speaking, what you are willing to confine. And whenever you use acronyms and all, short forms, you have to be very carefully using it. Now you can see that particular person is not able to understand the message what is being sent. In the mobile or the email, if one say, hi, Q for you, means, can you please RSVP? What is the meaning? He is not, if you know it, it doesn't mean that others should know it, right? So sometimes you need to be more, have the common sense, that common sense should be there, where you should try to make your conversation more lucid, more easy to understand. It should be more simple. And however simple it is, the people will be able to perceive it properly and give the proper reply. And so, and anyway, you have to be very careful whenever you use capital letters in email. Email etiquette, if you see, your subject line has to match with the message. It should include a signature sometimes. Digital signature now is accepted too. Then respond timely, keep it short and simple. We say KISS, K-I-S-S, which is called keep it short and simple. Mark someone in CC always if you want to send a copy. If you want to send a message to somebody for proof of that, you can send a copy to yourself where you can put it in CC. Avoid using short forms. Okay, so you have to be more professional, and looking at your message, people should try to respect you and feel that you're a dignified human being. Now, there are some important do's in email etiquette. Be concise, be very short, precise, up to the point. Write in a positive tone. You should be more polite. Address all the questions or concerns to avoid the delays. Write about the single subject. Use the proper spellings, grammar, and punctuations. Then you should know where to put full stop, where to put comma, where to put the exclamation mark, where to put the question mark. You should know all these things. If you were not able to put all these things, then obviously your communication reaches in a negative manner to the opposite person who has to receive it. Read the email messages before sending properly. Provide all the supporting information and keep your language more neutral. Don't be so polite. Don't be so feeble. Don't be so delicate or sensitive. It has to be neutral. Keep active voice instead of passive voice. How you speak directly, just keep it like that. Don't try to keep it in the past tense of words. Avoid using urgent and important words. Okay. Use proper structure and layout. Add disclaimers in emails. If at all you want to say clearly the disclaimer, like this message is not being given by you, it has been forwarded by somebody. Give a disclaimer. Yes, before you start a movie, you see that disclaimer, right? All the characters used in this movie are not fictitious, and they are not bound to their any legal matters. We say like that. Similarly, in email, you can also give disclaimers in case you have any official matters to be discussed and to be on safer side. Check your inbox before you leave the office, because you have to see that you have to sign out from your email. Otherwise, somebody would log in and there would be so much of pilferage, and people will try to loot out or steal your information too. There are some important do's also. As the do's, we have the important don'ts also in case of the email etiquettes. Don't copy a message or attachment without the permission of someone, because it can lead to plagiarism. And what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is a way of copying other person's information without his or her permission. In this plagiarism, if you are doing, it depends upon the information you are taking. It can lead you to lose your job, or you might be imprisonment also can happen. You might be sentenced for life imprisonment. Never respond if you're upset. Whenever your mood is very upset, you don't try to respond to it, because obviously your mind will be closed and you will not be able to think laterally. Don't use email to discuss any confidential matters. Just use mobile phones instead of that. Don't attach any unnecessary files. Don't forget to attach the documents if necessary. Don't write in capitals. Don't overuse reply to all, because if you send the information reply to all, then everybody will receive it, then you cannot delete it further. Don't use abbreviations, because everybody will not be able to understand as you think. Do never use sarcasm or rude jokes and all, because it might harm any person's personal feelings. Don't send emotional emails. So these are the important highlights for today. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.